Barcelona have made it a fourth successive Elclasico victory over Real Madrid with a 4-3 victory at the Estadio Olímpic Luis Companys in Montjuic. Barcelona came into the match as favorites, but it was Real Madrid that made the better start.
Errors from Pau Cubarsí and Wojciech Szczesny lead to the latter fouling Kylian Mbappé inside the penalty area, and the Real Madrid man stepped up to score the opening goal of the match from 12 yards. The Barcelona goalkeeper dived the right way, but the ball was just out of his reach.
And soon after, Mbappé added his second. After picking up the ball in midfield, Vinicius Jr. played his Real Madrid teammate in behind, and with only Szczesny to beat, he made no mistake.
It was the worst possible start for Barcelona, but they did manage to get a goal back soon after. Ferran Torres played on a corner, and it landed perfectly on the head of Eric Garcia, who made no mistake to reduce the gap to 2-1.
And on 32 minutes, Lamine Yamal curled home to make it 2-2, with Hansi Flick's side responding brilliant to go into goals down.
And it would get even better for Barcelona 2 minutes after, as Raphinha completed the comeback to make it 3-2 following an error from Dani Ceballos, whose collision with Mbappé allowed Pedri to claim the ball.
The first half goals were not done there, as Raphinha added his second of the afternoon just before halftime after being played in by Ferran, who made it 3 assists in 26 minutes. The goal again came from another error. This time, it was Lucas Vázquez that made the mistake.
Barcelona looked to consolidate their lead in the second half, but it was Real Madrid that scored the 7th goal of the game. And it was Mbappé that got it, as he was played in by Vinicius again to complete an excellent hat-trick.
Fermin Lopez fired home a 5th for Barcelona that was eventually ruled out for handball in the build-up. In the end, the back of the net was found no more, and it meant that the Catalans were victorious.
Now, let's analyze how Barca made a comeback again after being 2-0 down and about to win the league. Watch until the end.
Flick went with the same team as the one against Inter earlier in the week. Gerard Martin at fullback, Dani Olmo in the attacking midfield role, and Ferran up front. In other words, the coach was seeking a sense of redemption by repeating the lineup.
Beyond Szczesny's mistake, Madrid's first 2 goals came from clear defensive miscoordination when trying to hold the line. In both cases, the mistakes were similar.
In a situation where there was no pressure on the passer, the Barcelona defenders dropped back at different speeds, creating uneven defensive lines. That's the reason why the pass and the run behind were not caught offside.
Once again, the match started poorly for Barca with the 0-2 scoreline, but once again, they overcame adversity to turn the game around, and once again, it was under the footballing leadership of Lamine Yamal.
The 2 goals that turned the game around came from the concept that best defines Flick's Barca, which is pressing. The 2-2 came from an immediate recovery after losing the ball, and the 3-2 from a high press regain.
2 goals which were finished by Raphinha was the result of collective effort and the intensity the team has maintained throughout the entire season. The 2-0 for 2-5 Barca averages 112 pressures after losing possession every 90 minutes, with a 14.6% success rate.
Additionally, with an average of 30% of game time spent in the final third, the Blaugrana side also leads this metric in the league. Nothing about this Barca is a coincidence. Pedri's intelligence sets the tone for this team, so does his touch. It's worth noting that both the 2-2 and 3-2 goals originated from his boots, recovering possession, drawing pressure, and distributing the ball.
De Jong's performance and work rate were immense. He constantly made himself available and pushed forward to support the high press. He spent the entire match providing cover and support. His defensive growth is one of Flick's greatest successes. He finished with 6 recoveries and 2 interceptions.
It's also worth highlighting the great tactical value of Ferran Torres, who, with just 44 touches, created space for Raphinha to make his runs and finish in unstoppable fashion.
It was the match and the week of Eric Garcia. Another fantastic performance from the academy graduate playing as a full-back. Into high-demand games, he responded brilliantly. Always impeccable positionally. He understood Lamine's movements and even showed the legs to double down on defensive efforts.
Barca are now one win away from winning a La Liga title. A win against Madrid yesterday was very important. Referee from yesterday's game did a historical robbery. Madrid's penalty came from an offside position, but they never showed the replay of the line. Then Tchouaméni fouling Ferran Torres, which was a last-man tackle, which should have been red. Tchouaméni then blocked the shot from Ferran Torres' shot going into the frame of the goal, but referee said it was not handball, and later Wigan Fermin Lopez scored a fifth goal. The deflected ball hit his hand, which was ruled out because of the handball. If Tchouaméni's handball was not given, then why Fermin Lopez' handball was given? The answer is robbery.
To conclude, Barcelona's 4-3 win over Real Madrid highlighted their resilience and attacking power. Despite an early deficit, Barca responded with intensity, showcasing clinical finishing from Raphinha and strong performances across the team. The victory solidified their position as contenders, demonstrating their tactical discipline and never-give-up mentality in crucial matches.